Don't ever marry a white woman in California. A lot of you sisters probably don't marry white women anyway, nigga. Shit. Why should you be happy? Sisters look at you though like you killed your mama when you're out with a white woman, don't they? You can't laugh that shit off either. She's not with me. My wife went to court, man. She looked like she was 12 years old. I said, who is that bitch? And Your Honor, everything happened. The judge started crying. Nigga, we want everything. Do you have any dreams? We want them too.
Yeah, check it out, check it out.
He's locked in.
Yeah, check it. Hot damn black America again. Think of Sandra Bland as I'm staring in the wind. The color of my skin, they comparing it to sin. The darker it gets, the less fair it has been. The hate made, I inherited from them. But I ain't gonna point the finger. We got anointed singers like Nina, Marvin, Billy, Stevie. Need to hear them songs. Sometimes to believe me, who freed me? Lincoln a Cadillac, drinking a battle raps. Or is it Godspeed that we travel at? Endangered in our own habitats. Them guns and dope, man. Y'all can have it back. As a matter of fact, we them lab rats. You built the projects for, now you want your hood back. I guess if you could rap, you would express it too. That PTSD, we need professionals. You know what pressure do. It makes the pipes bust from schools to prison, y'all. They trying to pipe us to your political parties and fight us instead of making voting laws to spite us. You know, we from a family of fighters, fought in your wars and our wars. You put a nigga in Star Wars, maybe you need two. And then maybe then we'll believe you. See black people in the future. We wasn't shipped here to rob and shoot ya. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women are created equal, including black Americans. Yeah, that's black America again. I'm gonna do another verse for me. Check it out. From the same thing. Check it out. Keep that beat roll. Yo, we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Trayvon will never get to be an older man. Black children, they childhood stole from them. Robbed of our names and our language. Stole again. Who stole the soul from black folk? Same man that stole the land from cheap black smoke and made the whip crackle on our back slow. Made us go through the back door and raffle black bodies on the slave blocks. Now we slave to the blocks, cause on them we spray shots. Leaving our own to lay in a box. Black mother stomach staying or not. We kill each other more than the cops. I wish the hating would stop. We are at war and a battle with us. I know that black lives matter. Do they matter to us? These are the things we gotta discuss. The new plantation, mass incarceration. Instead of educate, they rather convict the kids. As dirty as the water in Flint the system is. Is it a felony or a misdemeanor? Maria Sharapova making more than Serena. It took Viola Davis to say this. The roles of the help and the gangsters is really all they gave us. We need Avas, Ta-Nehisi's, and Cory Bookers. The salt of the earth to get us off of sugar and greasy foods. I don't believe the news or radio stereotypes we refuse. Brainwashed in the psycho to spin. We write our own story, Black America again.
Yeah.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast. Yo, what's going on, MD2? Yeah, I know it might be a little bit late, you know what I'm saying? It might just be me and you tonight, MD2. I meant to come on here earlier, but you know, I got caught up. But you know, I still had to come on because, you know I'm people might think I'm extreme and stuff like that, but you know, it is what it is, you know. We can't afford to take days off, you know what I'm saying? So, you know I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Well, we gotta put in work, you know, not to say that we got to, it would behoove us. I'm trying to play my role, you know, and do all the things because there is no days off, you know what I'm saying, until we have our own institutions. So I did want to come on here and mess with y'all a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Especially, I came on here a little bit too late, but still, I'm still gonna go through it. And I will put the link in the chat, you know what I'm saying? But I did want to talk to y'all about a couple of things, you know. One of them, you know, something that's going on at, well, what's happening in South Africa or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure y'all can explain that a lot better than me. But, you know, while y'all was grubbing out today, enjoying, you know what I'm saying, the good old game, you know what I'm saying? I want you to understand why there is no days off and why, you know, what you do with your dollars is important, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we can, you know, do our corn shucking for the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody got their corn shucking in there today. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You know what I'm saying? But while we sitting back looking at them, they're still making billions of dollars off of us. You know what I'm saying? But you know what just came out about your boy? And I was gonna say something about hold on real quick. I was gonna say something. I know my boy Bakari ain't listening, you know what I'm saying? But if he was, you know, we was talking about who to support and, you know, if we should support the players and stuff like that. Now I'm showing you who's making the billions of dollars in their history and where they come from. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all saw this, but you don't want to talk about it because you want to continue to go on and, you know, consume their stuff and be happy about it, then wonder why you get no respect and why people can break you, and then get mad at the athletes for not quote unquote standing up when you can't even do it from your own house. You know what I'm saying? So while y'all you know, eating turkey, losing money, I wanted to see who you're making money. And I ain't got nothing positive today, so but just because I played my boy Common at the beginning, this is what he had to say about your boy, good old Jerry Jones.
Common! How do you feel about Jerry's new rule?
It's an owner mentality, and it's an owner, like a slave owner mentality.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like, you gonna do what I say on this.
Hey, Ted!
Now, I know y'all remember what was going on back then, you know what I'm saying? So the pastor Jerry Jones, slavery is over. Your players should be free to express themselves, right?
So, Mr. Jones, we want you to be true to what you want us to sing about, because there is a line in that national anthem that says the land of the free and the home.
Yeah, I know MD2, but that's why I'm on here anyway, just to mess with them, to make them have to try to multitask. But I know they're not, and I came on too late, so I gave them an excuse. But it is what it is. I'm gonna still have to make them pay because they want to sit there and you know, eat and watch football and stuff like that, as if, you know, we aren't in the middle of a war. But you know, while we're taking days off, you know what I'm saying, that's how much time we losing. You know what I'm saying? So now we're at what, 304 years and 7 days instead of 6 days behind the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Want you to be true to what you want us to sing about, because there is a line in that national anthem that says the land of the free and the home of the brave. Be true to that. Be true to that, because when you issue a dictate that says that if you are going to play on this football team, you are going to stand and respect the anthem. Mr. Jones, you respect the home of the free and the...
Now, we forgot about all this stuff mighty quickly. You know what I'm saying? We went back to, you know what I'm saying, well, you know, it's just one game won't hurt. I can go back to watching this. Well, you realize why you're crippled right now, right? Okay.
anthem. Mr. Jones, you respect the home of the free and the land of the brave. You respect the flag allegiance where we say during the Pledge of Allegiance, it's a land of liberty and justice for all. You go ahead and respect that, Mr. Jones. So be true to what you want us to sing about. Why? Because in essence, Mr. Jones does not mind cheering for those black players while they are on the field, but he's not concerned about the hell their communities are catching off the field. And so we want you to cheer for us off the field, off.
Oh, so well, he's concerned off the field. He's concerned that you Negroes will ever realize that you could take matters in your own hands, and then he'll lose his whole fortune, you know what I'm saying, based off Negroes shedding up and running, you know what I'm saying? In this case, shedding up and throwing and catching, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he does have a vested interest into making you shut the hell up. That's why he told you to shut the hell up and go play. You know what I'm saying? That's why they tell you shut up and go dribble, because they have a vested interest in you shutting up and dribbling. And you know what you do? You know what I'm saying? Shut up and dribble. He says slavery is over. That's what he says. All right. And Kanye West says slavery is a choice. Slavery in the modern era is in the time that I'm living in right now is a choice. And we're making the choice to continue to be slaves. Why? Because, you know, it's comfortable at this point. They found a way to make you, they found a level of comfort somewhere. It's still discomfort. That's why you do these things and you protest for a few days. But the level of comfort that you think that you have is, you know, okay.
The field. We want to make sure that we have communities that are safe and protected.
Yo, what up, K-Shaw?
Communities that experience justice and development. We want that off the field, Mr. Jones. And so I conclude my remarks by saying, Mr. Jones, be true to what you want us to sing about. And we want you to read afresh the Emancipation Proclamation. Slavery is over, and your players should be free to express themselves. Your players should be free to kneel during the national anthem.
Now, this dude said the Emancipation Proclamation, right? The Emancipation Proclamation didn't even free nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of society that we live in. You know what I'm saying? That didn't free a single person. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling Jerry Jones, you know, stand up or whatever. Like this, you're making him billions of dollars every Sunday afternoon. Why would he have to do that? Yo, son kissed by the Most High. We are too comfortable. Take days off and crowd foul. When we do get blindsided in this place, we all know is America, the awful. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we can't cry about it. You know what I mean?
Slavery is over, and your players should be free to express themselves. Your players should be.
And then we wonder why players can't say that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm a Semitic person, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm a Hebrew Israelite and still play in the NBA. He has to go on an apology tour, donate hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, I love basketball. I love all people, but it is slavery. Now, I'm not coming at anybody because we all have regular jobs. We all get by every single day, but, you know, if we aren't working 10 times harder, right, than everybody else, we're going to stay in this position because they are going to work so hard to keep us in this position. You know what I'm saying? And we working hard right now to stay in this position. But that's why we have to work 10 times harder. You know what I'm saying? On the days off, that's the days you should probably work even harder. You know what I'm saying? To get what you want, because let's be real, most of these days here are about death and destruction. You know what I'm saying? Right? They came here, right? They had like 5 failed colonies, you know what I'm saying, trying to come here, you know, and they were so stupid. Like they didn't realize it was like fish in the water, berries growing on the trees, you know, like you could eat food everywhere. They was starving themselves out and eating each other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a documentary I was watching where they was like, yeah, we found the remains of what looks like a 13 or 14-year-old little girl, and you could tell right here she got hit in the head, and then by her bruises it looked like she was eaten, because they was resorting to cannibalism, right? And then the people who was here said, no, like, what are you doing? You know, there's fish and berries. You don't have to resort to this, you know, savage cannibal stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then they call it, you know, Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? And then they slaughtered, you know what I'm saying, and took all their stuff. And we sit here and we try to preach to Jerry Jones that all of that is in the past, slavery is over. But we see here, they just told you to shut up and dribble. You know what I'm saying? We see here, they tell us to shut up and run the ball. You better get your ass up and don't kneel. You know what I'm saying? You ain't have the freedom of expression, the freedom of thought. And on the last one, we was looking at Mark Cuban say, you know, well, if it's somebody on the corner, we don't give a damn. But if it's somebody with a platform that can influence millions, like if I was talking to millions of people, they would have been shut this down. You know what I'm saying? But this is a lesson or a message that we have to learn or whatever. So let me keep going because
be free to kneel during the national anthem, because when they're kneeling during the national anthem, they are standing.
Yo, what up, Buwana? Now you can say that, my brother. You can say that. It is all good. And look, I hope people enjoy time with their families, because that's the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on some like, yo, don't spend time with your families. That's the most important thing. But I'm just saying, you got to work hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to mess with y'all for enjoying the day and making your slave owners billions of dollars. So I'm just here to mess with y'all about that. I can't let it go by without at least picking with y'all.
For what America is all about. Mr. Jones, you are the owner of America's team. Will be true to what America is supposed to be about.
All right. Oh yeah, one last thing, because I'm gonna put out another video. I was gonna do it tonight, but I'm gonna do it in the morning. You know what I'm saying? This is an old video, like one of my first videos from a long time ago. And I was talking about the young brother Ezekiel Elliott, but I ain't gonna make this one about him. But I'm just saying.
In the locker room, the Cowboys staying quiet after a mandatory meeting. The clues that players are not happy. A Fort Worth couple vanishes. They took off for a dream wedding trip.
Protest during America's anthem, and they're talking directly with Jerry Jones himself. Jones' proclamation on Sunday that he might bench players who kneel during the anthem struck like thunder through the team and the entire league. It even got the NFL to plan a special meeting to talk about it. But before that happens, the team had to meet as a team, and they did that today. News 8's Rebecca Lopez was in the locker room. Rebecca, what was the mood today?
Very quiet. The players are not talking about how they feel about Jerry Jones ordering them to stand for the national anthem. They're also not saying anything about that private meeting that they had with him today. In fact, Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott, who typically talks to the media on Wednesdays, said they didn't have anything to talk about today. Cowboys players were tight-lipped after practice about a private team meeting with owner Jerry Jones.
I'm not gonna comment on the owner or anything that.
And I was gonna play, you know, my boy Dez Bryant, because he said something different now that he's out the league. You know what I'm saying? But back then he was like pretty pro Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty yes, you know what I'm saying? But after he got out the league and saw how dirty they did him, and you know, he kind of changed his tune a little bit. But it's not about them tonight. It's not about them. We're gonna keep it on who it's about, you know.
Has to do with that.
But it was clear that some players have strong feelings on the issue. Veteran cornerback Orlando Scandrick was playing a rap song called F Donald Trump in the locker room.
I was listening to my music. I like that YG song.
When asked how he felt about Jones telling the team they had...
Man, do you see how, like, these is the millionaires here. You see how much shells they have to walk on? Right? Is that real freedom? Like, you know, we are addicted to what they call money, which really isn't anything. You know what I'm saying? Not the actual sources of wealth, but the money that comes from your oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Like, no other way to put it.
Veteran cornerback Orlando Scandrick was playing a rap song called F Donald Trump in the locker room.
I was listening to my music. I like that YG song.
When asked how he felt about Jones telling the team they had to stand for the anthem, he said no comment.
No comment. No comment. No comment. No comment. No comment.
Have you been advised not to comment?
No comment.
But when asked about the pink shoes to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month, he had this to say.
We're allowed to support this.
Defensive end David Irving was one of 2 Cowboys to raise a fist after the national anthem on Sunday. He declined to say what he plans to do going forward.
Y'all asking me some tough questions at a tough time right now.
The only player to comment was Union Representative Dan Bailey. He's
Now, before I play, the only person that would speak up, these dudes is like 6'4", like 290, run a 4.4, run a 4.2. You know what I'm saying? Probably could be your like elite warrior class if they was trained in something different. And my man was like, we're allowed to support breast cancer, you know what I'm saying? Because he understands he's not allowed to support his own heritage or standing up against anti-blackness. He's just better shut up and dribble at that point. But these dudes is the biggest, strongest people in the world. Mind you.
Says players have voiced their opinions to him.
My first responsibility is to listen and provide that forum for them. And then, my next job is to relay that to, the people that I talk to.
Bailey says the team is still unified and trying to focus on football, but it's clear that not all the players are on the same page with the team's owner.
All right, so obviously we see who got their way. All right, so let me show what the whole reason for showing this stuff. All right, so I'm not sure if y'all heard about this, but while y'all was cheering, or rooting against today while you was eating, enjoying the Cowboy game, you know what I'm saying? Making a person billions of dollars. Cause I actually heard my family even talk about this. And they would just went right back to rooting, saying, oh yeah, football, they said, I can't believe it. It's showing their true colors. And, these people is rednecks and this and that, you know what I'm saying? But then they went right back to, watching football, So I'm not sure if y'all heard about this, but let me go ahead and play this because your boy, Jerry Jones, I'm pretty sure y'all can guess what he was doing back in the 50s, right?
This is a fascinating piece of reporting that we're going to talk about now. We're going to start with this photo. It's from September 9, 1957, and it shows Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones among a crowd of white students trying to keep black students from integrating at an Arkansas high school. This is a Washington Post reporting. Reports that Jones, who was 14 at the time, could be seen standing a few yards from where the 6 black students were being jostled and repelled with snarling racial slurs by ringleaders of the mob. So joining us now, sports and feature columnist at the Washington Post, Sally Jenkins. Sally broke this story along with her co-author, David Moranis. We're so happy that you could join us this morning. Thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And again, I have to commend you on your reporting. This whole thing is right. I mean, it's really stunning. It's fascinating. So let's start with the picture, okay? And then we'll talk about, how we could have sort of moved diversity along with coaching in the NFL and in sports. Let's start with this photograph, though. What did you learn about this from this photograph?
Well, I think the first thing you learn is just how widespread the segregationists were in Little Rock and North Little Rock. Jerry Jones's high school was North Little Rock, which was across the Arkansas River from Central High School.
Now, listen, if you've been listening recently, and this is why I'm like, yo, this is divine intervention, and I had to do this, even though it's late, right? If you've been listening, I was just talking about the Little Rock 9, and what happened. And there's a movie called The Ernest Green Story. It got Morris Chestnut or whatever. And that movie is super, super PG about what happened, you know what I'm saying? But it shows how, these children, these teenagers were sacrificed, and chosen because they was nonviolent. They trained these children about the animosity they were going to face. And what do you know? Guess who was down there in Little Rock, Arkansas? you know what I'm saying, during this time, but good old Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying? So,
which is the school that got all of the attention when Eisenhower sent in federal troops to protect the Little Rock Nine at that school over there. But
now you notice how, because this is how they like to do history, right? And if you don't actually look at it yourself, you wouldn't know. Now you see how she said when Eisenhower sent in the federal troops to protect the Little Rock Nine, but what they don't tell you is like they took them out. They was in there for the whole school year, but he took them out after like a week or two, and the violence that they faced every single day, you know what I'm saying, was crazy. Like one girl, she got acid thrown on her. Like she ended up leaving and moving to New York, you know what I'm saying? Because they just picked on her so much. And every time that she responded, they suspended her. Like she stopped some white boy from like groping her, and then she got suspended. And then when she came back, she got into an argument with a white girl. She probably didn't get into an argument. The white girl probably said something crazy to her, and she told her to shut up or something. And she got kicked out again. So she just left, you know what I'm saying? So no, Eisenhower didn't do anything. And they like to put their presidents and their history in a different light than it really was.
segregationist agitators were actually very active on both sites. And the
Yo, what up, Cassidra?
fact that we knew that generationally, Jerry Jones had to have experienced the events in Little
I hope you enjoying your trip over there, Cassidra. I'm watching all the everything you put up.
that we knew that generationally, Jerry Jones had to have experienced the events in Little Rock more generally, but to find him in the photograph and to learn that he experienced one of those incidents right on the schoolhouse steps was pretty revelatory. We were blown away.
So he was likely part of the group of white boys who was putting hands on these young black brothers. You know what I'm saying? You seen he was up there front row, right front and center. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he got such exclusive seats out there. You know what I'm saying? To where he could be up there with them who was pushing these young brothers down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's a great question, Cassidra, and that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because like speaking of segregation, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is what we fought for. So,
to put it mildly.
Let me ask you about this picture just quickly here, because he's saying, you know, I was just there. I wasn't participating. I was there just sort of to observe. But
oh, okay. So my bad. He's saying like, remember how they used to have those lynchings, and then some people just used to sit there with their families and just watch the lynchings and stuff like that. Like, oh, like I was just observing it. Or sometimes people would come from different counties or whatever just to watch somebody get lynched or tortured and stuff. So he's saying he was one of those people. I got you.
With the photograph, what you point out in your reporting is that in order to get where he was at the top of those stairs, that he had to get up there pretty quickly, and those were sort of the students that were keeping the black students from entering. Does this say anything about his participation? Are you making any sort of judgment about it, or?
No, two things. First of all, he's a little at the time, so he's actually young.
Yep. Well, we fought for our babies to get a we sacrificed our children. So you can't tell me that sacrificing children is some kind of blasphemous statement when I say that, because I'm not just saying like, yo, yeah, like they used to like throw your baby in the volcano. No, this is something like sacrificing your children for. I'm not sure if they thought it was the greater good, because it's my opinion that it was more so the NAACP and the Jewish people, the shysters that was behind integration, and black people more so wanted the buses and the money for the schools that they deserved because they was taking their taxes, you know what I'm saying? And it was a certain group of people, you know what I'm saying? But this is a part of sacrificing your children, you know what I'm saying? And yes, like they stood around and watched George Floyd, but unfortunately we stood around and watched George Floyd too, and we stand around and watch this, and we know this, you know what I'm saying? But we'll go back to supporting him, making this dude a billionaire when he telling you to shut up and dribble. Yo, what up, Wanda? What up, Wanda Chavis? I appreciate you. I'm glad you're feeling better. But we don't believe that we were and still have trauma. Yeah, we still have trauma. Yeah, we built our own and came back under them, you know what I'm saying? Fought back, you know, and we'll always have to defend whatever we build. That's the thing we got to realize. We'll always have to fight. But let me keep going so we can talk about the segregation thing real quick.
Younger than the ringleaders that you can see in the photographs. That's one thing that we noticed. We did look at a sequence of photos leading up to those schoolhouse steps, and the white teenagers on the steps did have to move around the black students to get to the top of the steps. Nevertheless, he is further back. He is younger than the lead participants. And so I think that, you simply.
Oh, man, you see this? What up, bro? You hear she, oh, well, he is a little further back. He is pretty young. Oh, so he's been, you know what I'm saying, doing this for 80 years then. That's what you telling me. He been this way. Oh, he is young. She about the shyster. I think she's a shyster. I'm not sure. I don't know. But she about to give him her excuses.
He is younger than the lead participants. And so I think that, you simply have to take him at his word unless something else appears, that he was there more out of curiosity and fascination, as opposed to being really at the very epicenter of the active events.
So she's being sympathetic because he was there out of curiosity and fascination. Right? He was fascinated seeing, these children get spit on and threatened. And, they had these things where they looked like they was lynching them. And it was mostly white bitches, by the way, you know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of the players go back to dating the children of these people, you know what I'm saying? And also we're getting educated. That's why I don't understand. We fought to get educated by the same people who was spitting on us as if they were going to educate us in the right way whatsoever. It's crazy. Why would you fight for something like this and the destruction of your black teachers? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me fight to get into this thing where these people are literally spitting on me. You know what I'm saying? Like a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? Why would you fight? Like, they would probably spit on you and give you the worst food. You know what I'm saying? Of course they would.
He does remember, one thing he told us that did not make it in the story is that he does remember that it got physical. The tough guys that you see in the center of the photograph end up really pushing the kids down off the steps. And in fact, one of them is arrested.
Now, which one of these dudes look tough here? If they was all one-on-one in the streets, any one of these brothers would have tore them up, but they couldn't do that, you know what I'm saying? Or they chose not to do that, you know what I'm saying? But you see, it's a million of them. And if they would have sneezed wrong, you know what I'm saying, it was a wrap. But, I guess we can, you know what I'm saying, just be like, oh, man, I can't believe it. Most of these people are crackers and they show us their true colors and blah, blah, blah. Oh, man, that was a great run by Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into Ezekiel Elliott right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was going to release it today. I should do it anyway after this, you know what I'm saying? Because this is a short video. But what happened to the young brother Ezekiel Elliott, you know what I'm saying, just a couple of years ago, and how they tried to kept throwing him under the bus because of how he was messing with all of these white girls, you know what I'm saying? And then we look at Kyrie and we wonder, like, oh, man, how can he, why would he apologize and we be mad about it? And then we still just continue to do the same thing. But if you keep bashing your head against the wall, I'm not going to tell you to stop bashing your head. I'm just going to say you're going to keep getting a headache. You know what I'm saying? You're going to keep bleeding. You're going to have a concussion if you keep bashing your head. And then you can't say like, oh, man, I got a concussion. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why.
I hope everyone takes a moment to read the reporting that you and David did as they watch football, because the reason you did this is not just about that photo. It's about what it means with his position of power in the league now and the NFL now and the position of power the Cowboys have, right? And this is part of what the Washington Post is doing, examining the NFL's, as you guys call, decades-long failure to.
Now, listen, right? Like, we all say that they have power. We all say that they have power. The power that they have is the power that we give them. Because what is the NFL without, I mean, we can name all of the great players, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even today, as much as they try to tell you that black people can be quarterbacks, they came in was probably the best quarterbacks in history. You know what I'm saying? But this power that they get, this power that they have, it's the power that you give them because you are the product. You know what I'm saying? They look at it as the slave, you know what I'm saying? But no, you are the product. As long as you're shutting up and playing, then it's okay. But that's what it is, you know. You have the ability to have power, right? You do have the ability. It's just not exercised. And I don't know, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying?
Equitably promote Black coaches, right? And
Yes.
go ahead.
Well, this story is part of a long series we've been doing called Blackout, which is examining the issues in the league about the fact that almost 70% of the workforce is Black, and yet there are only 3 head coaches. One of the things our data has found is that mid-level Black coaches who do manage to get head coaching jobs waited an average of 9 years longer in mid-level assistant coaching jobs than their white counterparts. So there's some very striking inequities within the league.
Now, 70% of the players, right? 3 Black coaches. We're not even we didn't even get to the owner part, right? 3 Black coaches, right? And see, this goes back to the segregation argument here. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in school learning to control your own stuff, you know what I'm saying? Understanding how to create your own, right? Because right now, and this is the problem we have with our children going to Black schools and Black institutes, you know what I'm saying? Especially athletes, because they're like, you know, it's a better chance for me to get to their league, you know, by going to one of their prestigious colleges, you know what I'm saying? So I can be seen. But if you have your own schools with like teaching science and all of that, you're gonna be teaching your children how to, you know, create satellites so that you can make your own station, so you can put it on TV, because it's this perceived power that we give away. That's the only thing that's giving them all of this money. If you look back on history, right? I'm just saying, if you look back, for the most part, they was in the dark ages before all of this, right? They was dying off, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have money until we start slaving, until we gave away our self-autonomy to somebody else, right? And built up somebody else. And if you go back and look, right, before all of this happened, they was literally in the dark ages, right? They almost died off, you know what I'm saying, with the Black Plague and all of this, you know what I'm saying? Until this day, right? There wouldn't be no NFL if it wasn't for the players, you know what I'm saying? And it just goes back to like the Negro League thing that, you know, I talk about, because, you know, like I'm fascinated with that, you know, I would say fascinated in that context, because they had their own leagues. It was entertaining, and you can hear Black people talking about how great it was, how fun the games was. You had the greatest players, to where, you know, somebody could come into the league who isn't even the best player and be the best player, with Hank Aaron, you know what I'm saying? Well, not Hank Aaron, but you know what I mean, Jackie Robinson. And you have the power to do all of this. See, it wasn't that Jerry Jones was even wrong for being in that segregation thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think it was something about them. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm just going to show you, though, how he feels about you and how you can still consume his product. You can if you want to. It's just, if you look while listening to me, it's going to be uncomfortable while you do it. That's all I'm saying. Right. We let our own Black teachers, doctors down. We left them in the dust, but Black folks still don't know the power we hold. Right. Because if the players who just was offended about what Kyrie said, you know what I'm saying, had not played, or the fans, because it's hard to get on these players if the fans is still going to be watching it, because we know why they go on apology tours, because they end up, you know, where nobody knows them, you know, they go back to working regular jobs, you know. So I understand that, right? So if you're offended and you're still going to be consuming, I'm not sure what you're offended about. You might as well shut up, you know what I'm saying, and dribble and take your buck breaking and your L like a man, you know what I'm saying? or a woman, you know what I'm saying, if you into it. Because, and just shut up and dribble from now on, right? Because that's really what it is. Because it's no way that you can not realize the situation that we're in and just go back to partying and dancing and chilling and not putting in no work. Nobody's saying not spending time with your family, you know what I'm saying? But you can't sit there and talk about these issues and talk about all the things that we talk about, even in our circles, and not talk about something productive like how to get out of this situation. And it don't have to be something crazy. It could just like, yo, what is the top 3 things that you think will help our community be productive? You know what I'm saying? Those kind of conversations around our table, instead of saying, oh, Ezekiel Elliott gonna have 100 yards today, right? Because Ezekiel Elliott got to shut up and dribble. No offense to him, you know what I'm saying? Because he has to be able to have enough money to pay for his white girls, you know, let's be real.
The league admits. And by the way, Jerry Jones was the only owner to talk to us for this series in any in-depth way. We give him a lot of credit for sitting down and having this very difficult conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, right? They all should have talked to you, by the way.
Yeah, so there's probably like five of them out there. I don't know. Who knows?
But look, one of the sportscasters, well-known retired sportscaster in Dallas, Dale Hansen, said, what frustrates me most is he, meaning Jerry Jones, is in such a position, such a leader, that if he would take a strong stance, he could be the force of change in the NFL. And it seems like from your reporting, Jones agrees that he could be the change maker here for the league.
Yeah, I could be, but I'm not. Yeah, the change, he was the one spearheading the telling the N-words to shut up and dribble, and they sit there and call them their owners, you know what I'm saying, and the sport where they, you know, it is what it is, man. But yeah, he could be, and he was, you know what I'm saying, he's the one that spearheaded the shut up and run campaign.
He did agree, and that was one of the more interesting things in our conversation with him, which lasted well over 2.5 hours. He said, I understand that, I agree with that. We discussed why he hadn't been at the forefront of this issue until now. And the short answer to that is that he's been more concerned with trying to win, Super Bowls and appointing, men who were old friends of his or who he knew to the job. And a college teammate of his second head coach was Barry Switzer, and again, a guy he went way back to Arkansas with. And so, he's forthright in trying to address these tough questions. It doesn't mean you'll always be satisfied by his answers. But again, he was one of the only owner to really sit down and talk to us to this extent about it.
All right, so you have to give him some credit there. But I mean, listen, there were failures, and there are failures in the NFL, as this is pointing out. So
Sure.
then, what is, as you have been reporting this again, Sally? It's great. Everyone should read this. It's fascinating. So what's the solution here? What do you think should be done?
All right, yeah, what is the solution? You know what I'm saying? There we go. Cedric said we never bring up conversations on being free. When was that conversation of being free, building our own schools, banks, hospitals, etc.? Right? That's a great question. Right? Because they have conversations actively, think tanks actively trying to keep us in the position that we're in. Actively, you know what I'm saying? And you see, from 80 years later, you know what I'm saying? And he's talking about what is the solution. We all know the solution, but we don't want to hear the solution, right? We want to take another 50 years to get 7 black coaches, you know what I'm saying? Instead of realizing that water is wet, right? Water is probably always going to be wet. If you don't learn how to swim, then you're going to drown. You know what I'm saying? If you don't learn how to make it drinkable water, then you're going to die of thirst. You know what I'm saying? If you don't use it to put out fires, you know what I'm saying, then you're going to burn to death, right? But it's always going to be water, right? You can't use it for other ways than to be water, right? So once you understand that, you'll realize, if we want to sit there and have sports, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to sit there and watch football and basketball and just enjoy myself and have nothing to worry about. But it's not going to be able to do that until you are in control of your own things, but it's the money that is keeping us from doing that, because these players are right now rich, right? And we all know that if the league is a black league, we already know who's probably we're going to watch in basketball, football, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we're saying we want to control our own product. We want to control ourselves. If we're going to be the product, we controlling the product. You know what I'm saying? We are not slaves or product or somebody else's product. You know what I'm saying? Because for them, perpetual means forever. It means forever. Because let me tell you, there were slaves that used to fight, you know what I'm saying? And they was high paid, right? There was black people who was joining the minstrel face, blackface shows, and they was high paid. But they had to go in that back door, and they couldn't look a white person in the eye, and they better get off that sidewalk, right? And they never had to. They never had to. Because once we learned who they were, right, we just never accepted that. Right. Because, you know, during that time when he was doing that, you know, you were more likely to find black businesses than you are right now. And like I said, there was a time where we knew we had no other choice. We knew who the enemy was. But right now, we try to separate ourselves from the war, the situation that we're in, until it gets too bad, and then it just explodes. But all we do is just complain about it for a few weeks or a few months, right? Instead of actively trying to work. It doesn't mean giving everything that you have up. You know what I'm saying? It just means actively working harder than the next person, you know what I'm saying, to accomplish what you want to accomplish, right? So I don't really want to hear, I stopped it right here, but I'll play it.
Well, I think one solution is the NFL has launched an inaugural accelerator program. It's not a solution, it's a tool, it's a mechanism to try to help owners get to know owners more personally. What a lot of times what they lack are the close personal relationships. You know, that's one thing we've heard. Owners don't spend much time with them. You know, owners talk to lots of head coaches. They talk to very few assistant coaches.
Yeah, owners don't talk to their slaves, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course, they just give orders, bro. What do you think? You know, and this is the thing, you know, there's no other way around it, right? When you are fighting Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying, to get into a school while he's spitting on you, you know what I'm saying, and you fighting him to get uneducated, you know what I'm saying, because we were more educated about business. We were passing down businesses to children. We were passing down generational wealth, right? We were passing down knowledge of how to defend ourselves, right? And like Wanda said, you know, some of us are into educating ourselves, talking business and banking at the table, at the dinner table, right? And that's why we can't, you know, take no days off. But, you know, while Jerry Jones is spitting on us so we can get into his institution, so we can get treated like whatever, right? This is 1957, and here it is, 2022. You're 70% of the league. You made it into the institutions as the slaves, but you can't even be the coaches. You can't even be the overseers on the plantation yet. So you fought, and I don't know how many years that is right now. What is that? That's 60, like 8 years or something like that. And you haven't even you got 3 black overseers. This is who you fought for. But yet we can sit back and say, oh, it's a shame. They show us our true colors. And then we actually like, oh, I'm surprised that this person felt this way. Why? You know, no matter how much money you have, the owners have to approve you getting accepted as an owner. Right? Just like no matter what, because they control the resources. It's not about the money, it's about the resources that you control. All right, hold on. Let me I'm gonna talk about one more thing and then I'm gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat if anybody wanna come on. Yeah, Black Wall Street 100 years ago, and you can easily have that right now, That's what I'm saying, yo. These athletes are rich, but they may be like, yo, I won't be making $50 million. I'll be making $1 million. Right? If we was to invest our monies together. But you don't look at it as over time, you know what I'm saying? As my children, we look at it as my children gotta, have a place to stay. I got a $50,000 light bill, you know what I'm saying? But we don't look at it as building generational wealth, you know what I'm saying? We're just trying to get rich so we can pass down richness to our children, not generational wealth, because somebody can't just take it from you. Right? If LeBron James can't just have an open opinion, because he had an open opinion about Jerry Jones, but they told him to shut up and dribble. Right? And then when this thing came around to Kyrie, they told him, open your mouth and stand against that brother. Because he may have a contract for life, you know what I'm saying, where he's supposed to be set for life. But if that contract could be taken away, if that money could be taken away that quick, that's not power at all. That's not money at all. That's not wealth. That's rich. Right? Because you're a well-paid slave and we're just not well-paid. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, if we're still supporting it, we ain't no better than him. So we can't really condemn him if we still paying for, especially if you're paying for like league passes or whatever, and going out your way to sit there and arguing about the game, you know what I'm saying? Even though it may be in all love with your family, you know what I'm saying? Their families are talking about how to exploit us, you know what I'm saying? How to conquer us, how to dominate us, right? Yo, Cassandra, what up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Cassandra. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, because I know the internet will go in and out. But yeah, I mean, this topic right here is amazing. We talk a good game forecast, but when it's time to move, people don't want to do anything. We'll talk about this all day long. But let's just talk about, somebody talked about me buying a hotel. I'm like, hey, if a group of us get together, we can all purchase that hotel somewhere else. We don't have to necessarily do it in America because we already know what's going to happen over there. We have money. You pull your monies together and you build it in other countries because you can. We don't have to stand for what they've done and are doing and still doing today. And Black people don't even understand. We still don't see the damages. We still don't get it that these people don't have our best interests at heart. We still give them our children every day. We still allow them to educate our children every single day. 7 days a week, or at least 5. We give them 8 hours of our children's minds, knowing the damage that they're doing to us on our jobs. But we still turn around and give them our children. Then we turn around and go to their hospitals. And then we get medication from them. We're not understanding how dangerous these people have been. We still think that they're our friends. That's the sad part about it. We are 70 years behind time, and we still don't know the dangers. We still don't know the enemy. We still have no clue. All of the traps that they've placed us in, we still don't get it. And that's the sad part about it. Because we've been in this situation for 70 years and still counting and still not talking about freedom, still not building. And we have people that can do that. Oprahs of the world, the entertainment, the entertainers, the music industry. They have money. Why aren't they putting things together? They're right there in the midst of all of this craziness. They see the inside of it and they still won't do anything to build in their own communities to become free. They've been in entertaining since forever. but they're not putting monies together to buy land, to build schools. We have a school, Zayek's Institute. We can build that one nationwide, but we rather sit here and complain about what they're not doing, what they're not teaching our children, instead of us taking our children away from them and putting them in Zayek's Institute and go for what we know. We won't do that because he's Black, because we've been brainwashed to believe that, oh, if it's Black, it can't be right. It's only right if it's white. Oh, I see that down here too. You think it's not down here? Oh, it's down here too. They don't, yeah, they love some white folk down here. It's sickening. I'm saying it's sickening. It's disgusting that they'll actually treat them better than they would treat their own brother and sister. And I'm looking at it. I have a story of a young woman. These African women are giving up everything. They're leaving their own country, a Black country, to be, hugged up with Muslims, these white men, right? And they promise them the world. They get them in Europe and treat them like dogs. You think I told one young lady, write the book. Girl, let people know that what you've gone through. But they won't do it. Fear. You thinking you getting away from something by hugging up with your enemy? You think you marrying into, these people don't even like you. They come to a whole Black country to have sex with these girls and these children. Let's not mention that. Let's not talk about that. These children that they'll give you $20 for and they'll take your little baby and do whatever. But you don't think that that's what they're doing. You think, oh, they're just being nice to my baby. Really? Don't you read the news? Don't you see how many are snatched up in America yearly, daily? And you give them your child freely for $20 maybe? We got some stuff to do. I mean, we got some building to do. This is ridiculous. We are 70 years behind and we still don't understand who the enemy is. That's the sad part. We looking at each other. They got us looking at each other. Oh, you the enemy. But what are they doing to you? Am I hanging you? Am I burning you? Did I put you in a whole prison system and left you there for thousands of years? Did I give you double life? One man just got what? The Black guy who ran into the crowd. He got what? Like 5 life sentences and plus 1,000 years on top of it. How many Black people, how many white folk used to get that kind of sentence? What did Amber Geiger get, who killed Botham Jean? Broke into his apartment, killed him. She got 12 years. This dude got what? Life upon life upon life upon life. Come on, family. We got to do better. We got to do better. We see what needs to be done, but are we doing it? Are you ready to do it? Are you trying to do it? Is your mentality, are you tired enough to do it? That's the question. We talk, and Forecast, we've done shows like this since when? When did you first start doing these shows?
Like 6, 7 years ago.
7 years you've been talking. Where have we gone from when you first started to now? This is very frustrating to see because we know, we hear what they do to us every day. We see it, we feel it, we experience it, and still we sitting there waiting for somebody else, for them to tell you it's okay to move, for them to tell you it's okay.
Cassandra fell off. And that was another thing I want to mention. Hopefully she come right back. Oh yeah, there she go.
Others that are ready.
You fell off and you came back just now. You fell off for like 20 seconds and came back.
Man, I'm sorry. This internet is crazy. I'm telling you. I'm in Rwanda, so the internet is terrible. But
Yeah.
we got it better. We've not done 70 years. We still waiting. What are we waiting for? We know the damages. We know what we're supposed to be doing. But why aren't we doing it? If you're tired of their schools, we have one already built waiting for us to transfer our children right now. Zayek's Institute in New York. They can go online first, and then he'll build a school if he has enough support in different areas. Are we interested? No. Why? Because they didn't tell us it's okay to move yet. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Why won't we do anything different? We can build clinics. We can pool our monies together nationwide, globally, and build our own clinics. Just start with your clinics first. Will we do it? No. We'd rather sit up here and complain because they didn't give you the permission to build yet. They didn't tell you it's okay to build yet. Massa didn't say we can do anything. So we have to stay until Massa tell us it's okay to move. What's wrong with us? We've gotten so comfortable with being abused. It's like a woman in an abused relationship that's been there 20 years and counting. This is 70 years, people. We've been in an abusive relationship 70 years and not moved 1 inch, 1 iota, and still keep voting, right? Did you see the midterms? That's mental illness. You still keep voting for people that have told you, I'm not going to do anything for you. And you still run to support these people. Help me to understand what is going on. What is it going to take, Black people? I don't understand forecast. I'm done. I don't understand. I don't even want to do any more lives. I'm serious. Why am I going to waste my time? Why? To people that's hard-headed and don't want to grow, don't want to do anything different. We just want to keep doing things the same way, moving the same way. We don't want to build. We don't want to think about building. We don't even want to put think tanks together to start talking about how we're going to be free. We won't even bring that conversation up. What's it going to take? Let's just at least start talking about it. But we won't even start talking. We won't even start to communicate the conversation. That's the part that hurts. Then you come overseas and out of the country and you still see the same stuff. You see people just acting like white folk is gold walking around here. They got so much honor for white folk. I'm sorry, I love me some Black folk, but y'all, I'm looking at this and I'm getting sick to my stomach. I can't stand it. And you'll look at me like I'm crazy. I'm smiling, hey, how you doing? Mumbo and trying to get the language. And you look at me like, who are you? I'm your sister, who are you? But you ain't looking at that white woman like that. You showed her all 52 teeth. I'm just saying, why did she get that greeting and I didn't? When I look just like you. But she got all 52 teeth. Oh my God, hey, y'all was about to kiss her feet. But I came up and asked a question and you looked at me like, what the hell are you doing here? Who are you? And what do you want? That's seriously, that's not what that's not the reception that I'm expecting. I'm expecting to get 52 teeth too. But that's not, I'm just saying. And that's the sad part. That's the honest, this is honest right here. Oh, we're going to talk when I get back. We're going to talk.
Yeah.
But I'm disgusted by some of the stuff I'm seeing. I'm sorry. I'm going to be truthful. And you ain't going to like it. But it doesn't matter because it's time for some real serious conversations to happen. It's time for some real serious conversations. If we're going to bring our money, then we shouldn't have to go through hoops to transfer from country to country. I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about that. All of us involved just to go from one country to another country. This is all Africa. Why do we have every country need a different visa to get into that country? Tell me what is going on? But we're going to talk though. But thank you for this opportunity though. But you're hitting it head on. I'm serious. Head on.
Yeah, all 52 teeth considered.
I don't know how long I'm tired of talking.
Yeah, so all right, she fell off. But yeah, she absolutely right. And we talked about that, and I'm like, Wanda, I agree with her, MD2, all even over there, they showing off 52 teeth to them, MD2. So what do you think? What's going on, my brother?
Oh man, always good to hear you. I was glad to catch you in Casidra. I appreciate you letting me go ahead and speak. I'm gonna try not to get too loquacious because that's who I am.
You're good, MD2.
It's just quite interesting, and I've always said this is if we want to solve our problems, the solution's right in front of us. It's right there. We could do it in seconds. The first thing is convenience. As long as everything's convenient to us, we'll get nothing done. Because convenience will also breed comfort. You get comfortable. When you can get anything you want, you become comfortable. Why should I go out and do something when I can just turn on the game, eat my turkey? Why should I even think, in terms of doing anything else? Once you become comfortable, you become complacent. Because complacent is, you're just like, hey, I'm here. All I have to do is just show up in Rwanda. And, as long as Becky and Brad are there, hey, 52 teeth. They might even get 53 teeth. You know, who knows? They might even get 60. You know, so the thing is complacency will breed laziness, and you know, laziness is a disease that poverty will soon overtake, and that's what's happened to us all. You know, for the last several hundred years, Brother Forecast. What's happening today is nothing different. You know, I had to put that up there because I was talking earlier about our folks not being able to multitask because, you know, of course, you know, and you know how difficult it is at the kitchen table with, you know, half the family being Negroes, the other half being, you know, apathetic, and then or you know, you might have one or two out there that might listen to something black on YouTube. You know how difficult it is to multitask and say Hotep while you're holding on to a turkey wing? I mean, it's and especially with grandmom stuffing. You know, try saying Hotep while eating some of that stuffing and some of that sweet potato casserole. It's hard, okay? I mean, so of course, a lot of our folks are either watching the game, eating their turkeys, so they have to, you know, multitask is going to be difficult. They'll probably say Hotep tomorrow, or they might, you know, throw their fist up saying Black Power tomorrow. I'm not mad at it. I'll say it. That's who we are. You know, hey, power to you. The thing is it's kind of like a scenario where, you know, like Cassandra said, I'm kind of like tired of just being able to tell folks what's up because I've been doing it since 2002 now. You know, so it's been 20 years, over 20 years actually, of saying, look, folks, get it together. One of the very first things that I ever streamed on that thing called YouTube back in 2006 was telling Black folks, get it together. You know, and you know, she brought up the term of think tanks. I've been trying to do that since 2002. We had a few that were getting close, but they descended into competition of who was more smarter than the other guy. Oh, he's smarter than that, whatever. And, you know, nothing really got done. One of the greatest think tanks in the age of mankind, if you want to ever say it, one of the best think tanks that ever happened were in those slave shacks, you know, like Nat Turner, like Denmark VC, you know, I mean, those, you know, Charles Deslandes, I mean, you know, the Maroons, Zumbia Palmares, I mean, the list goes on. You know, I mean, those are think tanks, okay? Because they're not like something where you could just collaborate and talk. They're like, look, we have an issue. Somebody's killing us, raping us, destroying us, and this is what we will do to do it. And so, therefore, those think tanks developed a productive result. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking on NASA's YouTube using NASA's cell phone in this technology, eating those turkey wings and that stuffing he provides us every so-called Thanksgiving that we celebrate, you know? I mean, so clearly those think tanks back in the day had a result, maybe not the desired result overall, because we're still subjected to these peckerwoods and everyone else now, especially if you go to Kenya. So, you know, but you know, when Cassandra brought up the term of a think tank, I call it slave shacks. I would love to get back into the slave shack, okay? Because when we're out there in the fields, you know, and you know, that's when we really can talk and not have to be Kyrie or anyone else. We could really say, look, you know, how many lashes did you get? Man, they gave me like 20 lashes. And you see what they did over there to Tyrese's daughter? Yeah, that's when you start to be very proactive, okay? Because, you know, because the aspect of wanting to go ahead and say, yes, sir, is not there in the slave shacks, okay? That's not, you know, the aspect of going in and trying to be a compliant Oprah Winfrey or a Queen Latifah Negro or a Ludacris Negro going, yassa, yassa. Those don't happen in the slave shacks. Because in the slave shacks, you only got one mission. That's getting free and killing those who enslaved you. And that's one of the best think tanks I could ever imagine in you know, since the dawn of time, were war councils. Those are think tanks. You know, when you're getting together and say, hey, we got to fight that guy. Do you not think that one of the best think tanks in recent so-called history is the one that happened in Russia in January of, you know, the European year of 2022? In January of 2022, those Ruskies, those vodka drinking Neanderthals, were in their think tanks going, hey man, you know, we're kind of pissed off at our meth head, you know, cousins over there in Ukraine. What are we gonna do? Oh, let's get together and bomb them. I mean, think tanks. I'm glad Cassandra brought that up. So that's why, Brother Forecast, that I'm kind of like, in terms of the trying to educate and dictate and rationalize and, you know, and discuss and everything else. I'm kind of like through with that nowadays. It's like, look, you know, all I could suggest, and I think it behooves many, to use your best talents of the things that you know could get us free. Whatever those talents are, use that. Develop your own think tank. You know, like I said, your own, you know, where you're out there in the slave shacks getting ready to kill someone. Okay, you're like, oh, okay, there's a plantation owner over there and a few overseers, but they gotta die. Think of those in those terms with your talents, whatever talent you have. I don't care if you're a goat milker, if you like to embroider, if you know how to put together IED bombs, or if you know how to go ahead and do medical care. Whatever your talent is, I'm just suggesting it might be of your best interest at this late stage of the game, like you said, 70 years after, I'm going to say at least 300 years after, where nothing has really gotten done, clearly. It might be in your best interest to say, look, I don't want to talk no more. Those who are a critical mass of like minds like me, we'll get together maybe once a week, once a month, once an hour or whatever, and say, look, we're not free. We're being subjugated. Things are happening bad. What are we going to do? Okay, this is what I suggest. This is my talent. So I'm going to do it whether anybody else is going to be around with me or whatever. Whether it's just me and one other person or me by myself, I'm going to get it done. Whether I'm a lone wolf or I have 1,000 of them. Bottom line is Brother Forecast, I understand, overstand, and understand the frustration that a lot of us, like you and Cassandra and Sister Ra and others who really see what's going on. And, the frustration of like, look, no more. Okay, I don't even want to say that the word enough is enough, because one black person that's marginalized is one too many. So the thing is, for me, is just indulge me. Use your talents, whoever's within earshot of what I'm telling you. Use your talents, whatever is the best thing of you to develop that that could win. That could win the war that we're in, because this war is not going to stop. It's going to be forever. And hopefully whatever talents, whatever ideas, whatever thing that you have, your forte, all I can say is, you'd be in your best interest to use it at this late stage of the game, whether it's in Rwanda, Kenya, or even in Kentucky. Do the best you can. Brother Forecast, I do thank you so much, but I just wanted to put that out there. And as always, man, you're at the top.
Hey, MD2, I don't know if you got time. I just one more thing, because you probably, both of y'all know the politics of it. So, it's just going to be real quick, you know what I'm saying? But unless you got to go. I know if you got to go, it's all good. But you got a few minutes?
Yeah, I just enjoy listening to you. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because I agree with both of y'all. And yes, it's hard to say Hotep and eat a turkey leg, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. And even with Cassandra being out there, that's why we need to start talking about and putting ideas out there like, how do we create platforms where we can share money, exchange money with the exchange rate? And that will also take, creating satellites to not, get shut down or whatever. Now, I was going to play, right? And this is the video I'm going to put up, you know what I'm saying? Now, this was about Ezekiel Elliott, the player, you know what I'm saying? And how he got caught up with the white girl, right? And then I was going to show this white girl here, how she's lying about whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to skip to this, though. I want to go to this with Julius Malema, right? And what he was saying, he was like, I won't apologize, All right, so let me play this, because I want to play something. And y'all know the politics, so I'm not getting into a politics. I'm just talking about what he's talking about here. But y'all can get into it if y'all want to. So,
the way of the revolution, it must be eliminated in the best interest of the revolution, and we must never be scared to do that. The founding manifesto of the EFF says we'll take power by all means necessary. And therefore, revolutionaries, when confronted by that situation, should never think twice. Cowards are not for the revolution. The EFF must be known that it is not a playground for racists, that any racist that plays next to the EFF and threatens and beat up the membership and the leadership of the EFF, that is an application to meet your maker with immediate effect. You were beaten by a racist, and you never did anything. Let's hope this new leadership will make a follow-up on that racist, because there must be a follow-up on that racist. I'm not asking you to do what I've not done. When a racist confronted me at Winnie Mandela's funeral, I did what I was expected to do, because I was not scared of a white man. You get beaten by white people here and you call yourself an organization of Fanon. Racism is violence, and violence can only be ended by violence, not any other necessary means. It must be confronted by how it is.
As a black person, I hate racism.
Say you agree with me. You don't. There's nothing you disagree with them.
I hate it with my whole being.
There's nothing you
But
disagree with them.
is that the best way for the EFF to deal with violence and racist behavior?
Like Fanon deals with that in the Ratchet of the Earth. If you intensify your reading of Fanon, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The only way to add violence is to deal with it in a violent way. And racism is violence. What do you do, Koli? Because they never hear anything. The only language they know is the language they speak. So they ought to be put at their right place. Are you saying I am a racist by saying no racist must play next to the EFF?
No.
Am I racist?
The issue here is incitement.
What am I inciting? That
when you
that
say
no racist must play next to the EFF, is that an incitement?
No. When you say
I'm sorry not to stop it, but I just want to point out this incitement thing. Anytime you say something like they try to throw this incitement, you're inciting something. They try to do that with Kyrie Irving. You're inciting this. You're inciting that. You know what I'm saying?
They do it on purpose. They do it on purpose. But like he said, the only way to handle business is the same way they handle business. Period.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Facts.
Brother Forecast, as a brother, you know, black man, it is my job to incite them. That's what I do. That's what I live for. Okay. Now, if anybody says that, you know, like I say, I'm working my hardest, even if I'm a member of one, to be what's called a black identity terrorist extremist. Yes, I am, and I'm proud of it. It's my job to incite my enemy. Okay. So therefore, if they think that, hey, you're inciting something, cool, then I'm not slacking. You know, then I'm getting my, you know, they're getting their money's worth, for lack of a better term. You know, I mean, that's just common sense. As Cassandra said, and I'm so glad she said that in terms of think tanks, the EFF and other organizations, you saw the result of that think tank, even though it might not be a think tank or a political organization or anything else, but you saw the angst and you saw the activity. Bottom line is, and you know, I think, you know, Dr. Malema has definitely been listening to yours truly, as yours truly always says, by all means, not just any means, but by all means necessary. One of the things that I hope that we can do, indulge me for a minute, please, whatever you do, just for once, or for just think about it, never curtail your thoughts, your words, or your feelings, no matter what situation you're in, when it concerns these Peckerwoods or anyone else like them. Too many of us have done that, whether it's Kyrie, Jalen Rose, or who name it, that we curtail who we are because of the fact that we don't want to incite them. We don't want to, we're constantly wanting to disarm them, either whether it's through entertainment or whatever else, you know, oh, they're going to take my page down or my channel down or whatever. We don't own that. It's not ours. You know, none of it is ours. None of it, you know, just indulge yours truly for a minute and just tell yourself, you know, when it comes down to it, the only thing you've got is your word. And I'm not saying your word, I'm saying your word with yourself. The things that you have to do, and every time that you go ahead and say that you're going to stop yourself to disarm, you know, in order to disarm somebody else, or the fear that they might come after you. So you're going to stop who you are. You're going to apologize. You're going to do everything else because you're thinking that might disarm them. Bottom line is they're holding a weapon, and that weapon, no matter what it is against you. So what I strongly suggest, and it might be the wrong suggestion for many, who cares, is don't curtail what you think, what you say, what you do. They are your enemy, and they die, and they should die. Bottom line, there's nothing wrong with that. They should be fertilizing your orange grove, even if you don't own one. Bottom line is, every time you try to curtail your being in order to disarm and make someone else comfortable, you got to remember they're still holding a weapon against you. It's time to put the weapon in your hands. I'll pass the mic, and I'm going to just listen to you offline there, Brother Forecast and Sister Cassandra.
All right, hey M22. By the way, I watched that movie too. Yeah, it was I feel you.
Oh, which one?
The Sparrow thing. The
Oh yeah. Yes, very interesting. I'll give you 2 movies, and then I'm gonna listen to you guys offline. I just saw them yesterday, and they made a lot. One is Till, the Emmett Till story. I just saw that yesterday, and I'll speak to you later about it. Their brother forecast on the live stream. And the other was one I saw back in 1970. It came out in 1966, and I think I saw it like 69 or 70. It's called "The Russians Are Coming." The Russians are coming. And I'll go ahead. Those are like homework assignment that I give people to watch. And I'll speak to you on the other live stream about why later on the brother forecast. Anyways, I'm gonna listen offline to you guys.
All right, peace, MD2.
Peace.
Wanted to ask him a question, but he's gone now, about the Emmett Till. Why is it that they give us so many slave movies every year? I don't want to watch another Emmett Till. I'm just saying, for me, I want to see change. I don't want to live back there. I remember that. I'll never forget. Can you guys hear me, forecast? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's time now for us to be building. And even with Julius, okay, why can't we come together globally for the ones in the U.S. that's trying to build and wanting to build? We come together with our brothers here in Africa and we build, because we got same type. We got 2 sets of coons and we got the regular type black folk in both continents and America. Okay. So the ones that wants to build, we build. They're building down here in Rwanda. I'm looking at apartment buildings being built. We could ante up some money, get our monies together and own one of them. So when we do want to come to Rwanda and when we do want to come to Kenya, we have a place to go. And when you're not there, you can Airbnb that out. That's growing. That's how we do it. We move in silence, but we still building, not just in America, because we can get some of everything, all kind of properties here in Africa with no problem. We can rent them all day long. So what's your thoughts on building?
Yeah, all facts. And consider it is like, yo, and that's what I'm talking about, because she is about what she talks about. You know what I'm saying? She's really out there doing it right now, and she has her organization out there trying to make moves. That's why I'm like, before you can even like, yo, she doesn't play like she does all of the things that we talk about. And that's the point, not talking about it, is getting out there doing it. And Wanda, I saw your comment earlier, and I'm definitely going to talk to you about that. And I want to get your Jones so I can give you the money back for the water thing. But definitely I want to talk to you about the nonprofit thing that we are doing, and then working together and putting all our efforts together. You know what I'm saying? Like MG2 said, doing whatever you could do. You know what I'm saying, to get to where you have to be. But let me play the rest of this one.
Nip it on the bud, cut the throat of racism and white supremacy.
When you say to the members of the EFF in that PPA that you must follow up, I expect you to follow up on that racism.
Yes.
That's incitement.
How is follow up an incitement?
What must they follow up on?
They must follow up on what happened to the racist, and they must intervene decisively.
What does that
Since
mean?
when is a follow up a problem? When I proposed a girl today, I follow up is an incitement. When I follow up, the English of 405 has changed. That follow up means violence. That's a distortion of the word. They must follow up on what happened to that racist who beat up not only black people, but black women. The white man till today, despite the fact that cases were opened, is still not arrested because it's a white man. Had it been a black guy who unleashed such unjustifiable violence against a white woman, what would have happened to that black person? We ought to confront racism everywhere else where it raises its ugly head. And if it has not been attended to, it must be followed up so that no one dares to repeat such a similar mistake.
In a country that is already battling with violence, I mean, I don't have to tell you the stories that we have been reporting on in the past week, particularly the violation of women at the hands of men. We are a country that is struggling with dealing with violence. Is that the best way that the EFF thinks it can resolve such matters?
What option are you giving me? Where are you when an African woman is beaten with a...
You say something, Cassandra?
Let's address that violence thing right there. So America's not violent. That's what you're trying to blame people for something that they didn't cause. Remember that one video they had out of the white guy that said, we are doing this and that in Africa, but we are holding them responsible. We're going to allow them to believe that it's them instead of us doing it to them. This is what Black folk are failing to realize. None of this do we do ourselves. America is the most violent ever. We just had a Walmart shooting, the school shooting, everything. But this black guy's talking about, the violence in Africa. What? Who caused the violence? Where did it start from, sir? Did it start from us? It was white folks putting their hand in stuff that they had no business putting their hand on. And then them paying Black people to do whatever they want to because they are so impoverished. That's the problem that we face in Africa, the richest country, but the poorest people ever. You don't even have shoes. Tell me why. Tell me why. You have minerals in the ground. You can literally dig up stuff in gold in your ground, diamonds in the ground. But America told you you're poor. So you walk around looking crazy, but they come and take your minerals and you give it to them for free. Are you serious? When are we going to get over that? Let's talk about that conversation. Go ahead. I pass the mic.
No, you absolutely right. Look, America is the country that spends the most money on self-defense out of anybody. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to take anything American. You can at least take the self-defense part. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, And, as far as like, if we were as violent as everybody say we are, like what we've been going through wouldn't have lasted a week, but it's been 600, 700 years. So it's pretty hard to say that we were so violent. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you want to say something more? You want to keep going?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
Cricket bet. Where is the Human Rights Commission? The picture is there. If anything, you can't even play it here because it's not favoring a narrative. But the video is there of a white, well-built Afrikaner male beating up an African woman with a cricket bat. It's not an issue on the ENCA because the black lives, in the 4-5, the black life doesn't matter. I'm not going to buy into that narrative that black people must be beaten up and the next thing I must keep quiet. I'm not going to keep quiet. Do anything you want to do to me. I'm not going to keep quiet. I'm not going to allow the white Afrikaners in particular to perpetuate institutionalized racism in South Africa, and we keep quiet and we're being silenced by institutions that must be coming into our defense. Where is the Human Rights Commission for that woman who was beaten there? Where are they? Do they think we're a soft target? Let them do what they want to do. We're not going to apologize for that.
And so final word is that there's not going to be any apology and all roads lead to Equality Court.
I'm not going to any Equality Court. They can go to Equality Court. What am I doing in Equality Court? You take me to Equality Court without listening to me first? What happened to those commissioners there who say they are standing for human rights? Why can't they stand for my rights? That an Indian legal head of legal in human rights commission decide on his own, because he thinks he's a deputy white, on his own, to find me guilty and tell me to apologize without listening to me. They've done it to Zuma, they can do it to me as well, I don't care. But I'm not going to be a puppet of people who are advancing white supremacy and want to legitimize their nonsense at the expense of my rights, the rights that so many people died for. I'm not going to compromise on that.
Right. So look, he lives in a black country, and he said, they act like black lives don't matter in a black country. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, I feel him on that. Like I said, I'm not familiar with all the politics, but like I'm not going to sacrifice my whatever to be a puppet to advance something that's equals my destruction. You know what I'm saying? if I'm gonna die standing up for what I believe in, and not just dying for high cholesterol just cause, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, consider you wanted to say something about him.
What's he apologizing for? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
What's he apologizing for again? We're back to this apology. Why is it that when we speak our minds, people don't like what we have to say, the truth that we are speaking, we have to apologize for truth? No, enough of that. Let us speak our truth. You listen to our truth and let's change the situation. We don't wait for them to change the situation. We speak our truth and then we change it ourselves. Period. He said that. He said, I'm not apologizing. And I don't blame him. What's he going to apologize for truth for? I'm looking at things. Black lives here don't matter. And tell me why. And it makes me so mad. I'm looking at one country, Rwanda. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's all. Beautiful. But guess what? It's the president that did it. He works for his country. Most presidents here don't do that. You got trash everywhere, which is ridiculous. Come on, you guys. If Rwanda can do it, every other country in Africa can do the same thing. I don't see trash nowhere in Rwanda. It's building, building, building. Now you tell me why Kenya can't do the same thing. And why do we have 52 different presidents? It's just, we work against ourselves. And then we think we're doing something. Because we have 500,000 different languages in one country. Do we see what that's about? That's called divide and conquer. Because guess what? If something happens, you might be my neighbor, but you from a different tribe. I wouldn't even be able to talk to you, to tell you, hey, it's an emergency. This is what's going on. That's done on purpose. So we don't fix that. You just leave that like that because my language is more important? Really? But the emergency is more important. Me being able to communicate to you to let you know that we need to fight. We need to rise up globally. But we have systems in place that was put here by people that don't like you. But we kicked them out, but left the system there. Does that make sense to you? That makes no sense to me. When do we bring Africa as one? Including with the Black Americans, because we're from here. We still have relatives here. And I don't want to hear one African American tell me I'm not African. Shut the hell up. You don't know your history, dummy. You came over here. If somebody that belonged to you, that was connected to you, came over from Africa on a boat, then that means, dummy, that you are African. You have African blood in you. You still have relatives here. What are you talking about? I'm not African. You sound like a dummy. And I'm so sick of this, I don't know what to do. When are we going to start building globally? We come together, we support, we rise together, we build. Africa comes together for Black Americans also. We come here, we build. We can't do it in America. We come here and build. We can help each other. We're not here to take over. We're here to help each other. They got some amazing ideas that we can, smart. Man, I'm telling you, ideas business-wise, but they just don't have the money to do it. But if you got the money and they got a business idea, why not support that? This is where we come together to help our brother. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense what I'm saying, Forecast?
Yeah, I agree. I'm listening. Yeah.
Because we got some brothers over here, sisters too. Great ideas. Great ideas, just don't have the money to fund it. If you have the money to fund it, fund it. What the heck you got to lose? Fund it. And if that business works, that business will work because they got the business mindset. They just don't have the money. You fund that business and you sit back and you let them run it. What's the harm in that? We came together, we built it together. But we won't do that. I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's a lot. Forecast. This thing goes so deep and it's so sad and it's just disgusting. And I'm not trying to make it sound. I'm looking at it from both sides. I've been both now. I can tell you both sides. This is what we're missing. One Africa, period. One president, period. And make all those other countries governors, make them governors, not presidents, governors. Then you have that one Rwanda president. I'm just saying, it could be the Rwanda president. You make him president. And those other presidents come together with him as governors, and we make things happen in Africa. We build it. We make it one, not 52 different countries. That's crazy. You're working against yourself and on purpose, and they love it because you're not building nothing. One president building his country is immaculate. And then you go somewhere else and you look and you're like, what the hell, what is going on here? Build your country, build your infrastructure, build the internet, build it. It shouldn't be back in no, build it. You have the money to do it. The water system. I'm telling you, things could be so much better. And we're not complaining about nothing. I'm just trying to say, hey, it's time to build. Come here to build. I pass the mic.
Yeah, and I want to say what up to Oni. He over there too, consider I'm not sure where he at, but you know, he over there in Africa right now too. Shouts out Bobby, right? Yo, I'm surprised you up, my brother. And Tanzan definitely over there too. So yeah, shouts out to y'all, you know, and you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, consider that, and that's why I'm like, yo, you definitely motivate me because you know you like really be out there putting in the groundwork, and you know, like I said, I agree with you. All right, so let me play this last thing, you know, and this is about South Africa, who really belongs to South Africa. So this is a debate. I don't know why you're debating anybody, but yeah. So here's a debate.
20 years into this democracy, the debate from our side has never been to negate your pain, nor has it ever been about saying that we want back to where we came from. White people voted for this democracy.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't, Sissy. No, they didn't.
Yes.
A handful. Did you vote ANC in 1994?
I'm not talking about the ANC. Please listen. In 1992, white people had a referendum to decide whether they're going to allow the vote. And we gave the vote because we thought that what was happening was
yours
wrong.
to give. Do you acknowledge that? It was not your country to take in the first place, but we acknowledge the fact that you are here.
Exactly, right there.
It wasn't.
And white dude like, ha, you said you acknowledge me, Negro girl.
Exactly. Did you hear what she said? It's not yours to debate nothing. And that is the problem. They've given too much authority to people that don't deserve it, that don't have their best interest at heart. You don't come here and have a vote. You don't come here and have a vote that's going to possibly come against my best interest. You understand what I'm saying? You stop me from growing because you're afraid. You don't have a vote, period. Black Africa is for Black folk, period. Even South Africa. You came here from somewhere else. You're not Black. You have a seat. You don't have a vote, period. If you want to vote, go back to Dutch. Go back to wherever you came from, period. Then you can vote all day long. But right now, we're going to vote Black interests right here. Because it's never, they will never vote for our best interests. You know that, right? They have that same mindset that they have in America. They don't change nationwide. They have that nationwide mindset that if I vote something positive for Black people, they're going to be on top of me. That's always their mindset. It'll never change globally. So no, you don't get a vote.
I ain't go front consider. We might need to check their visas to see why they're here in the first place, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Exactly. And how are you over here this long?
You've been here for 3 months. What are you doing?
Thank you. So what happened? Who you pay? And that's really what we're looking at. Who did you pay to stay? You came from your ancestors came from the Dutch, right, or whatever, and French and Dutch, and there's somebody else. Okay, you weren't born. You might have been born here, but which ancestors come from? You don't get to vote. You're not black. No, sorry, but go ahead. I pay. Go ahead.
Yeah. And notice that she said white people voted, not even the black people. The white people voted to let this happen.
Exactly, and that's what happened. That's what happened. You had coons that sat up there was working stuff for them. You got a black face, but yet, here, this is what we need. This is what we want you to do. It's always like that. Go ahead, I digress. I'm going to finish listening.
All right.
It wasn't your country to take.
Is it your country?
It's all of our countries. But acknowledge it. It's all of ours. It's all of ours.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't mean to stop it right there, but when she said, "Oh, it's all of our country," it's not all of y'all's country. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God. See, this is what I'm saying. Everybody owns the country with all the wealth. It belongs to everybody. But it's a black country. How did it? And see, that's the mindset you got to work with. That mindset right there. But it's black folk again, giving your stuff to everybody else, and you don't even have shoes. You don't even have bed. You're sleeping on the damn floor. You feel me? This is what I'm saying. How is it belonging to everybody and they come in and they living better than you? You understand what I'm saying? But you howling, it's everybody's. They not saying that. They ain't saying that when you go to China. Is it everybody's when you go to China? Is it everybody's when you go to Russia? Can you go over there and vote in damn Russia, black folk? But you'll let them come and vote in your black country. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Help me to make this make sense. This is the richest country. Do you hear me? And it belongs to everybody. Hell no, it don't. It belongs to black people. China, get your hands off. Russia, get your hands off. India, all these, go down. Let me just, one thing. Kenya went into a neighborhood, right? The streets not paved, nothing. Bumpity bump, bump, bump. To the China area, they got their own area. Roads paved, buildings spanking freaking new. What? You in a black country and you got your own space? And your space look better than my space, and I've been here hundreds of years? Forecast, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
You understand what I just said?
Yep, they got the China space in Africa, yep, and in Kenya.
Whole space, a separate space, a separate entity. You don't even congregate. You don't even come live amongst black people. How is that possible? How'd you come to a black country and get your own space that looked better than my space? And I was born here. That's hogwash. And that shouldn't be. But I blame the presidents for that. I blame the president for that. Why would you not honor your own first? You make sure they living good first. You make sure they roads are done. You make sure those buildings aren't looking dilapidated. Been here since Africa existed. I know people ain't gonna like this conversation, but I'm real. I don't care if you like it or not. Fix it. Prove me wrong. Fix it. I'm not here to tickle your fancy, to make you feel good. It's all about truth and building. And we got a lot of work to do.
Well,
and I mean a lot.
Everybody gonna fix it, consider.
Yeah, because it's everybody, right? Go ahead.
It's not yours. It's not the place. This is not the place.
And he said it's not yours. And she's talking about it's all of ours. And he said it's not yours. I don't even know if he's a mulatto or a white dude or what. You know, I'm not sure.
He says not them because they so used to it being theirs. Because they have that privilege.
And all she said was ours. And he's like, it's not yours. It's not yours. So
But
he's trying to.
What I keep telling you, forecast, they don't come to join. They come to take over. Didn't I tell you that? I always say that. They never come to partner up. They come to take it over. Period.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I digress.
It's everyone's country.
We're wearing this beret. are saying we don't belong here.
Okay, no one can hear you at this point. So I'd like to actually have a conversation. And I'll ask for tolerance in this room, please. Tolerance. All right, Sinette?
What I'm saying is that I don't think the problem is with people on the ground, even the people sitting here. People who govern and politicians are determining the success of what is happening on the ground. We have rhetoric where people go on stages and say the colonists must go and we stole the land and we stole the mines. The Brits took the mines. Buddha never had mines.
Now, the whole time she was like white, and then they was like, yo, the colonizers got to go. Well, it was the Brits, you know what I'm saying? You see how she quickly sliced that division off, you know what I'm saying? Not that she ain't have her own colonization, but she quickly sliced her hand off right there, you know what I'm saying? That was crazy. But
And we can't keep on having that rhetoric and move forward. Every time I switch on a television or I put on a radio and Julius Malema says that we don't belong here, and what is happening? It's a problem. You cannot preach reconciliation to one segment of the country and preach empowerment to the other segment.
All right. There's a vast difference between, and I agree with you, there's a vast difference between rhetoric.
now, before she even explains to her, no, I'm gonna let her explain.
That's used to manipulate the population and sway people, and the truth. Ne? And I would be interested in hearing how white people process the emotional baggage of what their ancestors did. I would be interested in trying to understand what it did to white families. How much silence did white people have to cope with? How did white people build a shield around themselves to be able to deal with the system in which whiteness operated all these years? That's an emotional conversation. That's a delicate conversation. I'd be willing to do the work of trying to unravel that, because right now as a black person, I'm trying to do the work of unraveling my own baggage, my own historical baggage.
So wait a minute. If you, and we ain't even close to unraveling the baggage that we got, you know what I'm saying? Because we are listening to the dudes spit on us to keep us out of their schools, right? And then we fight them to get into our schools and lose all of our stuff. And then we can sit on a Sunday afternoon. We can't say Hotep because we got a turkey leg, but we can sit back and watch the game and make that very dude who was spitting on us billions of dollars. And you're interested in finding out the psychology that keeps him making billions of dollars at your expense by telling y'all to shut up and dribble, and you want to know how she's affected by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, why are you even debating these people who shouldn't be on your land, but who have taken advantage of you while on your land? And you're sitting there explaining to her, trying to debate. It's not a debate. You know what I'm saying? You got 48 hours, 24 hours, I'll say 24, you know what I'm saying, to pack up all your stuff, to get up out the country. And if not, then you already know what's up. But, you know what I'm saying, the fear of retaliation. But I'm not sure what we fear retaliating, because everything is gone. Everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the Chinese can build beautiful places for them to live in your own city and take advantage of you, and if we can't even do anything here, which is supposed to be free, but we can't have a religious view, what else can they take from you? You send your kids to be taught by people who obviously would spit on them, and then they tell you shut up and dribble, and we scared about what they're gonna take from us. But she wants to know why. I'm not sure, man.
I'm still figuring that out. Who cares? Get out and let us as Black people heal and build, period. That's it. The only way we're going to ever get to where we need to be is to spend time among us, loving us, healing us, and developing our own country, period. Now they can come and visit, but you got to go. You can't stay, period. Period.
Facts. Yeah, and Bobby said he remembered Nelson Mandela said South Africa is for all who live there. How are you going to preach reconciliation when whites are less than 9% of the population?
But he has to understand that was the old Mandela, honey. That wasn't the first one. Yeah, that wasn't the main Mandela. That was the old Mandela that they had brainwashed and poisoned and they tamed him real good. They broke him for 30 years. Do you hear me? That was the old Mandela. Afterwards, after they did what they did to him, then they're gonna say, okay, now let him be president. Now that's how wicked these people are. Wicked. He wasn't even the same man. So you can't even use Mandela as no example. Period. The old Mandela, you think they would have let that dude run Africa? Are you serious? That's why it took 27 years for him to be broken, buck broken. Mandela, the new one. We're not talking about that one. Let's talk about the old one. What would the old one have done? The old one wouldn't have said that. Period. It's time to start thinking black. Thinking self-preservation. Thinking building black. Coming together, appreciating our blackness and being proud of who we are again. We hate our skin. And we hate it because we allowed them to tell us that we weren't worthy. Somebody that wasn't worthy themselves came and told.
Elka Cedra? I think her thing went out for a minute.
But this internet is terrible. I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, let me play this last 40 seconds. This is the last video right here. So let me just finish it up.
I think when white people start to do that work, then we'll start to begin the project of trying to understand how all of us belong to this place. But you can't erase history. We can't pretend the violence didn't happen. We can't pretend colonialism didn't happen. We can't pretend people weren't slaves. We can't pretend our people are not poor. It happened. It happened. I'd be willing to hear white people say, you know what? It was Kak trying to pretend that this situation was normal. But I'm not hearing white people do that work.
All right. What would that?
All right. When you return, a poetic moment.
Now, y'all notice the black people was like us, ours, love, forgive, work together, share, cooperate. The white people was like, yo, you can't blame us for taking all your stuff. You got to work harder. Like she was basically on some pick up your own shoestrings.
Exactly. But she gonna tell you that after we do this, we want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing from white folks because they don't. I don't care. All I want to hear is how black folk gonna come together and build. Period. We didn't been there and done that. No more coming together for nothing. For what? It didn't work. It hasn't worked. It will never work. Period. So how do we move forward from here? Is all we need to be talking about as a black nation, as one. African Americans and Africans. How do we come together and heal? And how do we? They're done. We don't need them in our atmosphere because we can't heal with them in the atmosphere. That's a third wheel. Feel me? It's time to us to come together for us and heal on us and start educating. And all that old system that they have up, that's still up, we tear it down and rebuild it. The black way. Because we know how to do it. We've done it. Black Wall Street, we've done it. America, we've done it. But we build our system. We teach our black children. And when they come, they want to donate their money, millions. We can take your money, but you can't stay. Goodbye. You can visit, but you can't stay. Period. And we concentrate on us. Period. That's the only way that we are going to heal and get past all of this hurt. We don't expect them to do nothing. They still ain't paid them black folk reparations. They gave them, I'm sorry, and that's it. Okay. We don't need your sorries, but you're not. Only way you come here, you drop some bills, drop a bag. You stay for a couple days, but you got to go. Period. I pass.
Yep, and you can only go in restricted areas. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you. Now, Look, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap. Well, you know what? I want to show the thing because it's setting up the video. I was gonna release the video tonight, but it's like 2:30 here, and I'm surprised that it's so many people here. So I appreciate y'all for coming in here. And what time is it there, Cassandra?
Wow, it's 10:34 in the morning.
Oh damn.
Wow, you up late.
Yeah, I know. I started too late. I meant to go on earlier so I could mess with them while they was watching the game, but what I'm saying, so they can't watch it in comfort. But I missed it. But yo, let me show this. Because I wanted to show this because I was gonna talk about Ezekiel Elliott because the video is about Ezekiel Elliott, and I was talking about Jerry Jones earlier, his owner. You know what I'm saying? And how he got caught up. So let me show this white girl here. It's only a couple of seconds. It's not the whole video. So listen to what she says and tell me what y'all think. You know what I'm saying?
I just got the shit beat out of me by a black guy because I came out of the grocery store. Oh my God, guys, I am hurting so bad. I came out of the grocery store and I put the cart between me and this other cart because it was sleeting outside and I didn't want to run it to the buggy collector. There was a guy in the car beside me and he opens the door and he says, "Bitch, you're going to take that cart. You're going to move it." And I said, "Okay."
Now, let me tell you this, so you can keep up with the story. She's saying it was a cart in between her car or the black dude car. And he was like, "Yo, bitch, you gonna move your cart." And she was like, "Okay." You know what I'm saying? So and then she's gonna say what happened.
Hey. So I went to move it and he said, "You're a fucking cunt, you stupid bitch."
Now this black man in the hood called this white girl a stupid cunt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure how many black men in the hood say that word, but okay.
I was like, "What?" And I said, "Okay, you're talking to me like this. I'm not moving the cart." He said, "You will fucking move the cart." And I tried to get in my car and he took my door and hit me over and over with it.
Now she said, "Oh, you're gonna call me a cunt? Well, I'm not gonna move it." And so he beat her with the car door on the back of her head. I don't see no scratches or nothing on her or nothing like that.
You know what? She's lying. We all know how these crackers are. I'm so sick of these lying devils. I don't know what to do. Every time they open their mouth, they lying. You already know that. You know it's more to that story, and we know it. So she got her ass beat because she ran her mouth, and that's what it was. Period.
If it happened at all, if it was a real black man at all, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Forecast right there, that point right there. Because right now, black folk ain't fighting white folk. I don't care what. You already know. For whatever reason, we back down and we go the other way. Because we know you hit them, something happen, we gonna get in trouble, blah, blah, blah. So she's a liar. We know she's a liar, but go ahead and entertain us with this lying devil. Go ahead, entertain us.
And keep in mind, right? She said this happened in the Kroger parking lot. Now I've seen people say, "Yo, the Kroger that was there got shut down a long time ago," and there's supposed to be cameras outside of Kroger. So, right, there's no camera footage of somebody beating her with the car door. You know what I'm saying, in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? No bruises. The police didn't even do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, before she called 911, she's making this video. This is like immediately after this happened, supposedly.
And so I got up out of my car and he wouldn't stop coming at me, so I pushed him against his car. But he didn't fall back or anything. I just kind of pushed him, and he just came at me and hit me over and over in the back of my head and in the back of my shoulders. I took a picture of him in his car before he could leave. The cops are on their way, and so is a medic. My fingers hurt. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm at the grocery store, and you think it's okay to fucking beat a woman in the fucking head?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's one more part where she made an apology.
Oh my God. Like I haven't had the fucking enough.
I'm sorry.
I can't take this. I cannot forecast. I can't. Every time in their damn mouth, you already know what's coming out of it. A lie. You already know. I don't care what they wreak havoc everywhere they go. Is trauma connected to them. Trauma. Do you remember when Trump ran for president? Everywhere that joker went, it was a fight. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You think that's changed? Everywhere they go, it's something following them.
Yeah, now it's shootings and not just fights. Now they're shooting places up.
Exactly. That's why if you black and you don't have your candy bar with you, you crazy. You better live to fight another day. I tell you that. You crazy if you don't have one with you. You'll never go without your Twix. Feel me? Your leaf blower go with you everywhere you go. You might have some leaves to blow away. All right, I digress.
Yeah, I had to skip ahead because she was doing that crying stuff for like another minute or so. But look, now she got to apologize and she got the hat turned backwards and stuff. And listen to what she says, you know what I'm saying?
Because the comments were horrible. I want to apologize. I should have never said that the person that beat me up was black. And I'm sorry for that. I didn't know that I was doing harm by saying what happened to me. I didn't realize. Everybody now, because I said that, is discounting what happened. It happened. There are police cameras on Kroger's parking lot. As soon as I get the video, I will release the video.
Hold on, y'all hold y'all breath for those videos to get released.
Exactly. I'm still waiting, huh? Okay.
It's pretty sad, though. I also then went on to say that I live in the hood, in the ghetto. I've lived here, actually. Linden, Ohio is where I live. It's in Columbus. Linden is actually the area in Columbus. Anybody can look it up. It's not a good part of town. I honestly must have been my ignorance because we call it the hood and the ghetto here where I live, and I never thought that that was a bad word. I didn't.
Obviously, this is a bad area. We call it the hood and ghetto over here, but I never thought it was a bad word. But it represents a bad area, though. But you didn't think it was bad.
You know what? A hood and ghetto that they created for us. Okay. But we can't go to their part of town and not be touched, right? But do we really believe what she's saying? I don't. Because Jeffrey Dahmer lived in our neighborhood and was for 10 years eating people, right? And nothing ever happened to him. But she went to a certain part of the hood and got jumped. Really? But how many times we go to their neighborhood and get harassed, just walking while black, swimming in a pool, barbecuing, selling waters, okay? Come on now. Come on, people. Go ahead, I digress.
Yeah, no, Carolyn Bryant had a store in a black neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay,
I wasn't allowed to use that word. I had no idea, and I had no idea that people were going to discredit everything I said because I said those two things. I don't think it's okay to victim blame, victim shame. I'm a nurse, and I don't think that it's okay. People get hurt all the time by other human beings. And you're right, it doesn't matter what color they are. We all get hurt by humans sometimes.
Yeah, we get hurt more than they do their neighborhood. I'm just saying.
Hey, a black man, a random black man out here, you know what I'm saying? That's the only description she gave, a black man, a black male.
You know she's double lying. You know she lying.
Right, a black male between 4'11" and 6'5", you know what I'm saying? Between 115 pounds and 315.
Okay.
I'm not trying to come from any direction with this, and I was really hurt at the time, and I was hurt. So
all right, that's enough. Now I'm only showing this because I'm going to talk about I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna put up this video. This was from a long time ago, from like 5 years ago. Deception of the white woman, talking about Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? Since we're talking about what happened with Jerry Jones or whatever, we're gonna talk about one of his players. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say slave in this instance, even though I could. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Cassandra? And you know,
Wow, I don't know a whole lot about that story. I guess I'd have to research a little more.
oh yeah, let me tell you what happened. Well, this dude Ezekiel Elliott got in trouble twice with white girls. You know, one time he was at a football game, like messing with a white girl, and they put him on blast, like, you know, can't be doing this with white girls in public, Negro. You know, but he had a white girlfriend or something like that, and she hit him with the domestic violence. But it was proven that, you know what I'm saying, it was her doing the violence, you know what I'm saying? She lied, and there's like text messages and a whole bunch of evidence that she lied on this brother, you know what I'm saying? And so, but the NFL was like, oh, we got evidence and we're gonna suspend him, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, in the video, I'm like, you know, if the NFL got evidence, they should give it to the police, because the police didn't even do nothing, because all the evidence showed that that girl was the violent one, but they still punished Ezekiel Elliott, you know what I'm saying, the football player. So
But that's nothing new. They always punish the black man. Look at what they did. Irvin Ford, he tweeted. That's the thing that blows my mind is Irvin tweeted. He didn't even say, he didn't do. He just passed a thought. So you can't even have a personal thought without them saying, let me approve of your personal thoughts. So what do we expect? That's nothing. That doesn't surprise me.
yeah, facts. And so I'm gonna put the video up. I'm gonna premiere it in the morning. Well, it's gonna be 9:30 here. I'm not sure what time it's gonna be there, but I'm gonna premiere it in the morning. But yo, so Cassandra, I appreciate you coming on, you know what I'm saying, everything that you're doing. I'm glad you enjoying your trip, you know. But I want you to say everything you had to say about the topic and everything you want to say about everything, you know what I'm saying? If you want to put anything out there, you know, definitely realm in the bush, you know. Yeah, I just want you to give your closing statement, you know what I'm saying?
Boy, I'm scared my internet may go off. But closing statement is thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate your show. I appreciate you for doing it, for having the balls to do it. You know, because a lot of black people don't understand that we are in a 911. We are at a state of emergency, and we don't even know how dangerous and close we are to the cliff. We're about to fall off the cliff any minute, any second, any day, and we don't even notice it. That's the scary part. But I just appreciate you guys.
All right, so she cut out. Okay, there she go. Oh,
Facebook
yeah,
page.
Cassandra.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Put on your Facebook page. These videos need to go viral. I rest my mic and thank you so much, and have a great night's sleep. I'm out and about today.
That's what's up. I hope you have a good time out there. I hope you could keep having a good time. So
I will. Thank you for casting. Keep on doing these amazing shows, brother. Appreciate you.
all right, thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Yeah, and I appreciate all of y'all for coming on, you know what I'm saying, and being on here with me so late, you know what I'm saying. To my brother MD2, yes, sir. You know, that's what a lot of us is out here doing. And apparently we forgot about it, you know what I'm saying. So we're going to make the person who made us millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying, or the person who spit on us, you know what I'm saying, when we tried to get into his schools, who fought us. And we should have been fighting for our own, but you know, the person who fought for us, and we sat there and ate our turkey legs and enjoyed his sport, you know what I'm saying? We talked about how bad what he did was and how he's a cracker and all, but we sat right there and then celebrated when my brother Ezekiel Elliott, you know what I'm saying, scored a touchdown, or whoever scored, you know what I'm saying? And we bet on the game, but we didn't, and we're not betting on ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So we got to work together, and none of this will work unless we do work together. You know what I'm saying? So I got to appreciate all of y'all and thank y'all. And, you know, for my last words, I'm going to let this brother here have my last words. But yeah, shouts out to you and Raw. I gotta get your so I can get your money back to you too. And Wanda, y'all, I'm gonna email y'all and I'm gonna email everybody who was a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I don't want to send it to them because I don't know what's up with that. So, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna work on a different method to get there, you know what I'm saying? And like Cassandra was talking about with the internet, it's time that we put our efforts into controlling our own stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like making stronger, you know, I mean, we can come up with more technology so we don't need an antenna and a receiver to access these radio waves, because right now somebody else control waves in the air, right? And they can control what we put on there. They can delete this anytime, you know what I'm saying? And believe me, when there's enough people they think listening, they probably will. But until then, it's all good. But you know, we got to get back to making not get back to, but it would behoove us to create satellites, you know what I'm saying? Not just for communication purposes, but hey, look, you know what? I want to get back to my just being able to chill and relax and watch TV and watch football and basketball. But you know what I'm saying? Right now we can't because we don't control no institutions, or I can't, or I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it until we control institutions, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we got to work harder than everybody. You know what I'm saying? We got to work harder than everybody to get to where we want to be, because right now everybody is working 1,000 times harder than we are to maintain the position that they are in. And at the end of the day, until we realize that we stuck in the same position. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let this be my last words. And I appreciate all of y'all for standing up with me. But this is going to be my last words. And y'all look out for the live tomorrow. But let me let this play.
Don't ever marry a white woman in California. A lot of you sisters probably don't marry white women anyway, nigga. Shit. Why should you be happy? Sisters look at you though like you killed your mama when you're out with a white woman, don't they? You can't laugh that shit off either. She's not with me. My wife went to court, man. She looked like she was 12 years old. I said, who is that bitch? And Your Honor, everything happened. The judge started crying. Nigga, we want everything. Do you have any dreams? We want them too.
All right, man. So yeah, shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to you, Wanda, Bobby. But Wanda, I know you was in here. Oni. Of course, my sister Raw, K-Shaw, you know, Cassandra, of course, you know what I'm saying. Sun Kissed by the Most High. My good brother MG2. And yeah, man, if we're gonna be showing all 52 teeth, you know what I'm saying, let's show that stuff to each other, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that hard. Just say, yo, I appreciate you, brother. Hold the door open for a brother. Hold the door open for a sister. Just speak in public when you see each other. How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you, Raw, all day. You know what I'm saying? But y'all look out for the premiere I'm gonna have in the morning. It's 9:30 a.m. East Coast time, so I'm not sure what time that is anywhere else. But yeah, I appreciate it. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we gonna keep falling for anything.